שמואל, רפואה שלמה, אורה דבורה בת רבקה, and לעילוי נשמת דוד בן עליה, עליו השלום, we should have only בשורות טובות, ישועות ונחמות, אמן. You know, there is an interesting question, a halachic question. I would like to hear what do you think about this question. Imagine, you know, in Saudi Arabia, there are some laws that are not so nice. I'm going to give an example. If Chaz v'Shalom someone steals and they catch you stealing, what they do is they cut your hand, right? They're going to be sure that he's not going to steal anymore. Now, so imagine the following scenario. Imagine there is a Jew that is in Saudi Arabia, and there is a police officer that jumps on this Jew, and he tells him, "Stealer, I saw you stealing. Come with me right now." Now the Jew says, "Listen, I didn't steal anything." No. You stole something. We saw you, whatever. We have proofs. You steal. And they're taking him to court. And somehow, this Jew was able to escape. Somehow. And he traveled and he left the country. What happened was that the police said, "Oh yeah, you think you're trying to? No problem. We're going to take a friend of you, also another Jew. And if you don't come, we're going to cut, not his hand, his head." Wow. And the Jew comes up to the rabbi and he asks him, "Rabbi, what should I do? Should I go back to let cut my hand? Or I should leave the situation like that?" What man? It's interesting that at the time, I believe was at the time of the Abarbanel, happened the same exactly story, not in Saudi Arabia, in Spain. And there was a Jew that they wanted to cut him the hand. And the whole story happened the same, and he went to his rabbi and he asked him, "Chacham, what should I do? I was able to escape, but Hazid, they're going to kill another Jew because of me. From another hand, I didn't do anything. I didn't steal." What's the halakha? You should go back? Should go back, you're saying. Now, let me give you another example. I don't know how to say that in English. Kilia is the... Kilia is one of the organs of, how it's called? Kidney. Today, Baruch Hashem, people that have troubles in the kidney, lo aleinu, there is the concept of, right, donating a kidney. Saving the life of someone else. Correct? It's a mitzvah or not? It's a real mitzvah, you're saving a life. Now, I never heard in my life, I don't know if you heard, let me know. I never heard in my life the rabbis of the generation coming out and saying, "Rabotai, there is an obligation to give you kidney." Right? There is an obligation? No. So I ask you, if there is no obligation to give a kidney, I have the obligation to give my hand? What's the difference? There is a Jew that have a need of a kidney. Lo aleinu, without a kidney can die. Do you obligate me to give my kidney? No. So there is any difference of giving the kidney, of not giving the kidney, or giving the hand?
In the first case, he was the cause of
He didn't do anything. Hazit, the officer just jumping him. Rabotai, the answer is obviously no. Why? We learn that from the famous Gemara. The Gemara writes down that if there are two people, both of them in the midbar, both of them in the desert, and they have only one bottle of water. Hazit, only one. The owner of the bottle is not obligated to give his bottle to his friend. Why? Hayecha kodmin. Your life goes first. Emet? So now, Rabotai, let me ask you the following question. We know that Rabbi Akiva lost his 24,000 students. The Gemara in Masechet Yevamot, Daf Samech Bet Amud Bet, the Gemara writes down, 12 zugot, 12,000 pairs of students had Rabbi Akiva. And all of them died, right? In this period of time, in between Pesach and Shavuot, 33 days according to the majority of the Poskim. Why did they die? Because they didn't respect. Rabotai, and therefore what? And therefore they went against what the Torah writes. Ve'ahavta lereacha kamocha. My question is, how can I love you like I love myself, if even halachically I'm not supposed to love you like I love myself? If in the halakha terms, when it comes in between my life or your life, which one is first? My life. So how you want me to love you the same that I love myself? Huh? Simple question. No. That's why the Ramban, Nachmanis, says that there is no such concept to love you like I love myself. En matzav kazeh. It's not logical, it's not correctly, it's not halachically correct. Right? So what is it? Says the Ramban, what Hillel answered to the guy that wanted to convert. You remember the story? That the guy came to Hillel with one leg, jumping on one leg, teach me the whole Torah. And what did Hillel say? Did he say Ve'afta l'reacha kamocha? No. It says, Ma shesanui alach lechaverach al ta'avid. Whatever you hate, whatever you don't like to get, don't do it to your fellow Jew. And my question is, this is called Ve'afta l'reacha. That's not Ve'afta. That's not Ve'afta l'reacha kamocha. You're changing me the concept. You're telling me don't do whatever you don't like other people to do to you. That's not Ve'afta l'reacha kamocha. But Rabbotai, the answer is very simple. What is ahava? What is love? I love my fellow Jew. What's love? I have to love you like I love myself. Well, what that means to love myself. How do I love myself? How does a person show that he loves himself? How? More you take care of yourself, more you love yourself. A person that all the time is selfish, he loves himself too much. Right? More you think about yourself, and more you take care of yourself, you show love to yourself. Rabotai, ve'afta lereacha kamocha means take care of the needs of someone else. Meaning, the same way that you're looking to take care of your needs because you love yourself, once you will love your fellow Jew, you will take care of his needs as well. Automatically, whatever you don't want to other people to make to you, you're not going to make to others. That's called ve'afta l'reacha kamocha. Open an eye in the needs of someone else. And only because the problem of ve'afta l'reacha kamocha, what can I tell you? We get all type of tragedies throughout history. All type. If it was from the destruction of the Beit HaMikdash and even before, but not entering to Eretz Yisrael and waiting 40 years. And if it is afterwards, every generation that we have problems was because of one thing. We didn't take care of the needs of someone else. And you can have chesed. The Gemara, listen to this Gemara, it's crazy. The Gemara writes, Talmidei Rabbi Akiva, they were Talmidei Chachamim, and they were people that they did chesed. 1 second, if you're doing chesed, so you love someone else, the answer is, I have nothing to do. I can do a lot of chesed, but I still don't care about your real needs. I give you because it's something humanitarian to give. It's good to give. Why not? But do I love, do I feel your pain? Do I feel the pain of someone else? That's ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha. You can do a lot of chesed. But when you hear that in Israel there are Jews running to the how you call that? To the miklatim, to the shelters, do I feel their pain or not? Do I stop in the middle of my business? I stop everything and I say Perek Tehillim? And when there is a name of someone that is sick, lo alenu, that it comes to my ears, what do? Say, Hazit, poor guy? Or I stop and I say Perek Tehillim? Can I do over that? Not always. But do we feel the pain? That's ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha. And in their levels of the 24,000 students, and Rabotai, we're not in that level because to talk about them. But in their level, something in that feeling went out. And for their level, they deserve it to die. And that's what we have to reinforce those days. Rabotai, what can I tell you? I'm going to tell you a story. Interesting story that I heard recently. In Israel, there was two families. The Baruch Hashem, the daughter of family A started to date the boy family B. Both of them religious guys, religious families, Hasidim. Fine. So they were dating and the things were going well. And Baruch Hashem, they decided, we're closing up Shidduch. Beautiful. They close up the Shidduch, and in Israel, the custom is that the same day that they make the L'chaim, after all the people leave, they sit down together, the parents, and they close up all the money issue. Not to have any type of, balagan, nothing. They have it clear from the very beginning. So the parents sat down and they spoke about all the money that they have to spend. Both of them, they stand, they shake a hand, Hazak Baruch, Mazal Tov, and they leave. Fine. The father of the Kala said to the father of the Hatan, I will take care of all the, to call up the hall, and to call up the music, and to call up the photograph. I will take care of calling. So the guy said, Tfadal, you're going to help me. What can I tell you? Throughout those months, in between the engagement and the wedding, the father of the Kala realized that the prices that he thought went up. And the price of the hall went up. And the price of the photograph went up. And in 2 words, he realized that the money that each one of the sides commit, it's not going to be enough. So the father of the Kala called up the father of the Hatan. And he told him, listen, and he told him the whole situation. Maybe we should give, each one would give a little bit more. We're going to be, yeah. Be'ezrat Hashem, don't worry. Go for it. Everything is going to be okay. The father of the Kala says that he said, okay, and he started to close up all the things. What can I tell you? Before the Hatuna, they have to put the money, right? He went to the father of the Hatan. Where is the money? Here, there is the money. No. We're missing the extra amount. Says, no, I never said that I have to give. You never said. Well, we spoke. Whatever I said, I gave. Says, yes, that was it the first time. What about the second time? I never commit. I told you I understand, but I never commit. What can I tell you? The environment became Ichsa. Right? But because both of them are Hasidim, they decided to go to the Rabbi. The Rabbi saw the situation. The Rabbi said, listen, not because of money issues you're going to cancel the Hatuna wedding. Make the wedding kapara, kapara. That's it. The father of the Kala says, I was dancing in the wedding of my daughter only with the legs. My heart was totally sad. How come? Look, with this type of family that my daughter is getting married, Gannavim, Shakrani, whatever it is. But he didn't say a word. He was feeling all that inside. The other one also felt the same thing. The other guy felt, you know what? Listen, this family of the Kala, they're trying to steal from us money. I never commit. We spoke and the custom is that in Israel, after you finish the wedding, they open up the table for the Hatan and Kala, and they do Sheva Berachot only with the family members. And usually they invite a rabbi, someone that is close to both of the sides, to give some words. There was a rabbi by name Rabbi Toisig, something like that. This rabbi stood up and he spoke amazing about the family of the Hatan, amazing about the family of the Kala. Inve Gefen, beautiful Mazal Tov. Good. Rabotai, the wedding is getting over. At the end of the whole wedding, the father of the Hatan looks at the father of the Kala. Come here. I want to talk to you. Says, yeah, Hatan. Now what? They go into the side, and the father of the Hatan says to the father of the Kala, what can I tell you? I'm sorry. I realized that I made a huge mistake. That I committed to give you extra money, and I didn't. So the father of the Kala was amazed, and he says, what happened? I mean, what Eliyahu Navi came to you, what happened? He says, no. Not Eliyahu Navi, Rabbi Toisig. Rabbi Toisig? Yeah. Right, he spoke in the Sheva Berachot. He spoke about you and your family. Amazing. He says your family is a family that they love Torah, that they take care of their money and they're not giving, they're not stealing, they're not doing all type of kunzes and stuff. And I heard that and I said, wow, if the rabbi is talking so good about the family, so probably the whole issue of the money, it's my fault. And if you're going to ask me, how do I know that the rabbi is talking true? Maybe he's, a little bit exaggerating. What can I tell you? When he spoke about us, whatever he said was true. 100%. So if by us he didn't miss one, but you probably did. He didn't miss either. And therefore, I decided that I'm going to pay you the extra money. Rabotai, this is called exactly how much we can get. This guy understood that I have to love you because when he spoke about me, I love myself. Also, you love yourself. Think about what is the needs of someone else. This is our job those days, Rabotai. It's not a sticker that you have to put in the car. And it's not no. Got to be something that is for real, that is changing, that will change our lives. Start to think positive about someone else. Look about the needs. And only throughout this, we're going to get the beracha of Borei Olam as well. Rabotai, we have the other group coming in from the next minyan. I would like to give you another idea. I'm going to start with the following story. Very quick, very short. 1983. There was in Israel votes. Who is going to be the president? Not the prime minister, The president. In Israel, there is also a president. Hey, it's not so powerful like the prime minister, but... So there were two candidates. One candidate was, at that time, he was the head of the court. Okay? Shofet Bet HaMishpat HaElyon. That was one candidate. I forgot his name. The other one was the son of the chief rabbi of Israel, Rabbi Herzog. He was his son. And these two fellows were candidates to be the president of Israel. The one that won in the elections was the son of the rabbi. So in the radios, right? One of the canals of the radio went to speak with the family of the one that lost, and they spoke with the candidate, and they spoke with one of the older sons, and then they got the small son, the little son of this candidate that just lost. A kid, 8 years old maybe. And they ask him, do you know that your father lost? He says, yes, what can we do? And then the guy asks him, tell me something. You would like to be a president when you will be big? And the kid says, of course, but I can't. Why you can't? He says, because my father always tells me that when I lie, everybody realizes it. I smile. Rabotai, kids are saying whatever an adult thinks. Right? So there was a kid that sent a letter to Professor Leibovich. I don't know if you heard about this fellow. Very well-known genius, professor in Bar-Ilan University, passed away. And they sent the following question. He says, a kid, Professor Leibovich, how it's possible that you are such a successful professor and also religious? I am sure that if you were being born in a non-religious family, you will be much more smart than what you are today. That was the question of the kid. Now, before I tell you what was the answer of Professor Leibovich, I would like to understand the following concept. Rabotai, this kid, what he's writing, what he wrote, is what many, many people, Jewish people, they think about us as religious people. They say, listen, emunah, belief, is something that is against not to believe on God only, to believe when there are problems, to believe in God when the things are not going well, and you see that there is no godliness helping you. And why you close your mind and I said, Akol letovah. Where is the chokhmah? Where is the what's going on with you? Rabotai, in 1941, there was a rabbi, the Rabbi of Kloisenburg. I don't know if you heard about him. The Kloisenburg Tzanz. In Netanya, you go to Israel, there is a city called Netanya. They have a whole area of Tzanz. Probably you heard about the hospital, Laniado Hospital. He made it. He lost in the war his wife and all the 11 kids that he had. And he was sent from Auschwitz. They took a bunch of Jews and they sent them to Poland, to Ghetto Warsaw. Why? After the Germans killed up all the people in Ghetto Warsaw, they destroyed the whole entire ghetto. There was no one building one piece of building that remains complete. And they send a bunch of Jews to clean up all the mess. Especially to take up all the Jews that were killed. One of them was the Rabbi of Kloisenburg. And he got to the place, and you can imagine, to take out a whole entire cemetery was very hard. And there was another Jew also present over there. And he looks at the rabbi and he tells him, Rabbi, where is God in all this story? What's going on over here? I cannot continue like that. The Rabbi of Kloisenburg, look at him, and I'm going to tell you also later what was his answer. But we have to understand the following concept, and I'm going to try to be very short because there can be a shiur of an hour or more. What is emunah, Rabotai? So when I was a kid, they told me that you have to believe, don't ask questions. Whatever happened, happened. Whatever don't happen, don't ask questions. You know how the Rambam in Moreh Nevuchim calls this type of emunah? He says the person who believes like that is called petty. Petty, in other words in Hebrew, it's called tipesh. In other words in English, it's called how you call it, dumb? A person who thinks and he have his emunah in such a low level, the saying, my emunah is, I don't ask questions, I don't know anything about nothing. Says the Rambam, Habibi, so today, that's what you think because you're Jew. And Bar Minan, it's the same thing with the Muslim thing. And it's the same thing with the Christian things. And there is no difference in between us and anyone else. This is not called emunah. You know why? Because the person who lives this type of belief, he will get to a certain type of situation in his life that he will have to pay too much expensive about this type of belief, and then he will have to drop it off. There will be some situation in his life that he will be standing in front of something that is going to be too expensive to pay for this emunah that you have, that you're just going to leave up the emunah, you're going to stop believing. What's emunah? There is a second level of emunah. Second level of emunah, it's not called emunah, it's called da'at. What's da'at? What's da'at? Da'at is an opinion. It's something that I understand. It's something that I was working on it. And I fix it. That is something that is logical for me. And that's why I go with this. Example. When there were the elections over here, right? In between Trump and Clinton, right? There were people that they had their da'at that Trump had got to be the president. Others says, no, not at all. Go and ask one of the guys that wants to vote for Clinton. Ask him why you want to vote for Clinton. And it's going to give you a whole entire vision about how exactly the best choice is Clinton. This is called da'at. Rabotai, the Rambam writes that we have an obligation, every single Jew have an obligation to be hoker, to start to dig and to check out with questions and answers about our belief. We have to go and to check and to go in details and to everything. And this is amazing. But this is not called emunah. You know why? Because there is a very big danger. If you believe on God only because it's logical for you. Why? Simple. The day that you will not understand one of the mitzvot, you will not do it. The day that you will think, you know what? I don't feel it. You will not do it. That's one danger. Second danger, and it's something that applies to all of us, is that a person who all his belief is depending on his da'at, he have no heart. And he can believe on God in a very philosophy way, but when it comes to pray, his heart is a stone. There is no connection, there is no feeling. Because all my connection is only according to what I think, or what I think that is logical. That's why this is not called emunah. What's emunah? So I have someone that I know, his grandmother got saved from the Holocaust. How she got saved? I'm going to tell you. There was a fellow that was able, he had a contact with Imach Shemo Eichmann, Nazi. And he told Eichmann, listen, I'm ready to give you very large amount of money to save those families, X amount of families, their names, very high quality type of life of those families, very important families. I'm going to give you all this amount, and I want you to send them to Switzerland. And Nachman accepted. Achman accepted, and all those families entered to the train. But Achman wanted to show his hand and his power. And instead of sending them to Switzerland, he sent them to Auschwitz. And none of them were killed. Yes. And when this Jew heard about it, he got very upset. And he told Eichmann, what happened? Where is your word? And Eichmann, Imach Shemo v'Rish'o v'Zichro, he said, you know what? Here. He prepared a whole list of all the trains that he had to send to all the concentration camps. Tell me where to stop, and I'm going to show you that whatever train I will stop, it will go straight to whatever place you will decide. And he started to go like this with the finger, and he stopped in a place. And there was a train already going to one of the concentration camps, and the train just stopped, and he made a U-turn, and they went to Austria. And they took all those Jews, simple Jews, to Austria to work in a factory of shoes. But it was the most easiest work camp that they had. It was so that there were kids, 5 years old, 4 years old in that camp, that are usually kids at that age, lo alenu. So this fellow that I know very good, he told me that his grandmother was in that train. Not only his grandmother was with her father and with her little children, little brothers. And she says that even in that camp, they were making once in a while a type of division, selektia. And they took them and they put them into groups. And they gave them papers. One paper there was a V, and the other people was an X. And she said that all her family had the X. X, how do you say X? The X. So there was another Jew that approached the father of this girl, and they told him, you know, X, it's not at a good sign. Maybe you should try to change it. So this Jew was very simple, pashut. He went and he asked, listen, I don't like the X. Can you change it to a V? And they changed it. For him and for all of the family. All the ones that had the X were sent. And the ones that had the V, they stayed. And then she says that after a while, they got another selektia. And in the next selektia, again they got an X. And the grandmother of this fellow, she was a girl. She goes to her father and she tells him, Daddy, you should ask again. They said last time that X is not good. And the father looks at his daughter and he tells her, last time, Borei Olam sent me an angel. This time he didn't. I don't know. Maybe it's not good to change it. And he didn't change. And all the people with the V were sent. And the people with the X's, they stayed. And she said, I survived the whole entire Holocaust like that. And when this fellow that I know asked her grandmother, you don't have questions about God? You never ask yourself, how come that God did such a thing? Her answer is an answer that we have to understand, because that's the answer of what's emunah. She said, I'm going to tell you, I have many questions. But I saw in all the darkness also a spark of light. The whole story that I just told you. I saw in all those situations, and I saw people being killed in front of my eyes. And he said, all the darkness, I saw the spark of light. So I understood that God is here. Because I still don't understand why there is darkness. Rabotai, emunah is only when you have the two levels that we spoke at the beginning attached one to the other. Emunah is when I understand with my mind, logic thinks. Because God doesn't regret and God doesn't forget. Because I understand with my logic that it's impossible. And if I have one more minute, I'm going to tell you a great chidush that the Midrash brings down. Abraham Avinu was sent to kill his son, Yitzchak. Just before God told him, Ki beYitzchak ikare lecha zara. From your son Yitzchak, not Ishmael, I want you to hear well. Ki beYitzchak ikare lecha zara. I want you to know, Yitzchak is going to be your descendants, and from him, all Am Yisrael is going to be created. And right after, God is telling to Abraham, go and kill your son Yitzchak. Rabotai, Abraham Avinu said the Midrash, hard questions. You told me a minute ago, you told me that Yitzchak is going to be my descendant. And now what? You know what? I'm not going to ask you, as defending myself, with the Recheretz, God, just a small question, just to understand. Last time, was it Yitzchak that you told me, or was Ishmael? The one that you told me that is going to be my Yitzchak, just to clarify, God, I'm not coming against. No, I want to just understand. And Abraham didn't ask questions. Said the Midrash, you know why Abraham didn't ask questions? Because he asked himself the following 3 questions and he answered to himself. He says there is only 3 ways to understand such a problem. God says one thing, and now he's saying something the opposite. There is only three ways. Or he forgot. Right? Or he regrets. Right? Or he's doing it on purpose. He wants to make me feel bad. That's the three ways. And say the Midrash, Avraham went with his mind, with his da'at, to understand each one of those questions, if that's possible or not. If I understand that God exists, and I see clear with my mind, I was able to understand that God exists. So if there is God, there is the concept of forgetting by God. Why a person who forgets what happened to him? Why a person forgets things? Long time ago he said it. It was a long term that he did all this stuff and probably forgot. If I understand that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the master of the world and he's complete, he can forget something? We said that in Rosh Hashanah, we say, Ki zocher kol hanishkachot ata. It's impossible. For a God to forget, it's impossible. Because if he forget, he's not a God. You regret maybe? Regret is only when a person said something, and now he got an extra information that he didn't thought at the beginning, and now I'm changing my mind. Again, if that applies by God, one more time. God is not God. What do you want to tell me? God is doing on purpose. He hates me? Why God wants to take? Why a person will hate someone else? Because he needs to take something that he needs. If the God that I believe on, that is the master of the universe, is complete, there is no need for him to take. But I still have the contradiction. Here comes the emunah. That I'm able to see the light, but I understand that I cannot understand the darkness. That's exactly what the Rambam calls emunah shlema. It's not called that. It's called emunah. Rabotai, throughout those days, or throughout all our life, there are situations of darkness. We don't understand how, from Shabbat until 2 days ago, 1 day ago, there were over 700 rockets sent to Israel. 4 Jews were killed. 3 Jews, 4, okay. 4 persons were killed. So because one was Arab, so it's a reason to say we're good? No? Okay. They were killed. And there was a Jew, 21, 23, whatever it is, the age, right? With a young baby, 1-year-old. And we have questions. We don't understand. But when we see the light, we have to believe. The Borei Olam is with us, and we cannot understand God. And this is what Chachamim are saying. I think is the Rambam, I'm not sure, that he says the following sentence. Ilu yedativ ha'itiv. If I will understand God 100%, I will be God. You want me to understand God? You can't. Because you're a human being. Limited. You can try and you have the obligation to go with your mind till the maximum that you can get. But there is a point that your mind cannot reach, and here the emunah starts. So let's try to reinforce ourselves. And Yehi Ratzon Borei Olam will not put us any more in nisayon, any more in these type of situations, and we will have emunah shlema b'simcha u'betuv levav kol hayamim. Amen ve'amen.